Imagine this. It's May 1940. President Roosevelt stands before the world and declares that America will build 50,000 airplanes a year. 50,000. To put that in perspective, the entire US industry had produced less than 3,000 planes the year before. German intelligence laughed it off, calling it pure propaganda. They believed American industry, focused on cars and consumer goods, simply couldn't mass-produce something as complex as a modern bomber. They were about to be proven catastrophically wrong. Enter Charles Sorensen, a genius from the Ford Motor Company. He was one of the masterminds behind the automotive assembly line. He looked at a complex B-24 Liberator bomber and saw a car. Well, not literally, but he believed the same principles that built millions of Model Ts could be applied to building bombers. This wasn't just talk. Ford invested in building a factory so massive it had its own airport and post office. This was the legendary Willow Run plant in Michigan, a mile-long factory designed for one purpose: to churn out B-24 bombers like they were automobiles. The beginning was rough. Critics called it Willow Run due to early production snags and quality issues. Building a 4-engine heavy bomber was infinitely more complex than a car. It required new techniques, new tools, and a new kind of workforce, including hundreds of thousands of women who had never worked in a factory before. But they didn't give up. They learned, they adapted, and they perfected the process. By April 1944, the impossible had become routine. A brand new, fully assembled B-24 Liberator bomber was rolling off the Willow Run assembly line every single hour. And it wasn't just Ford. Factories all across America, from car plants to refrigerator manufacturers, switched to war production. The results were staggering. That initial goal of 50,000 planes a year was not only met, but shattered. In 1944 alone, America produced over 96,000 aircraft. Over the course of the war, the total exceeded 300,000. That's more planes than all the Axis powers combined could produce. This industrial tsunami was unstoppable. Germany's own armaments minister, Albert Speer, later admitted that Allied air superiority, fueled by this production miracle, was the single most decisive factor in their defeat. The war proved that battles aren't just won by soldiers on the front lines. They are won by the workers, the engineers, and the sheer industrial power on the home front. America became the arsenal of democracy, and it was a war won, ultimately, by production.